Let's just quickly take a look at the, I think it's just a couple of seconds to go for the market open. As always, we will look at the indices. We'll go down and look at individual stocks, etc. Because there is enough and more buzzing, as I was saying. Almost feels like there's perhaps, at least in lots of segments of the market, there's a big bull market going. It doesn't show up on the indices in a meaningful way. Although indices have been making new highs. It's not that indices are lagging behind, far off highs. But, I mean, the momentum in many of the stocks across many segments is a lot more as compared to the headline indices. 26,021, 26,100 basically is the upper end of the range. The Nifty Bank, of course, it's a rising channel, which we've been highlighting. What do we have? 55 lower on the Sensex, 40 lower on the Nifty. So, you know, it's kind of just a small reaction on the downside this morning after last night's sell-off. Mid-cap index is flat. The small-cap index will come up on your screen. And I think there as well, we'll have the rates on your screen. So 20 points, so nothing at all. It's a very, very quiet start. A bit more pronounced now, 0.25% on the Nifty. 25,955 is where the index is starting at. The Nifty 50 heat map gives you a quick sense of where stocks are opening, and then we'll get down to it. 40 odd names are lower, and about 9 or 10 stocks are higher right now. Tata Steel, Bajaj Finance, Tech Mahindra, etc. on one end. Max, Healthcare, Returnal, JSW amongst a few winners to begin today's session. 70 points now on the Nifty on the downside. And of course, all these blocks, etc., which we will point out and highlight in terms of individual names. Surbhi.
Yeah, absolutely. On the Nifty, I mean, there are no major huge polarized moves either up or down. It's just an overall sense of profit-taking that you're getting. Some of the global-facing sectors and names, for instance, metals, there's money coming off there. Hindalco and Tata Steel are your two biggest losers on the Nifty right now, down about 1% each. Some selling in financials and in technology, the two parts of the market that have done very well in the recent past. So Bajaj Finance, 1% lower. Bajaj Finserv, 1% lower. HCLTech, 0.5% lower. Infosys, 0.5% lower. Reliance also is starting 0.5% down as we get into the opening trades right now. Some of the auto stocks, they were quite revved up last afternoon, but again, the color is red today. So names would include the likes of Mahindra and Mahindra to start off with. Even Maruti is down about 0.7%. L&T is lower by about 0.5%. So it's overall sense of profit taking is what we're seeing. On the upside, not too many names to count right now. Max Healthcare. And I'll watch out for the Bank Nifty because it's showing so much momentum and strength. So if this is to be a buy the dip, then will the financials get bought first? And there are some signs of that already. Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, they're in the positive territory. SBI Life is exactly at the flat line. ICICI Bank is just about 0.25% lower. So let's see. Financials, a big watch point for me. Nigel?
Well, that's right. And just take a look at the capital market plays. Grow is growing yet again. Yesterday, it hit a 1 lakh crore market capitalization, which was a feat in itself. Today, it's at 1.2 lakh crore in terms of market capitalization. Yes, there will be a limited float that's playing out there. That could be one of the reasons. But the stock, from around $100 just last week, what a 1 week of listing. It's moved to around 190 rupees. Big move is what we're seeing on that particular name. Giving it company on the upside is another, newly listed company, which is WeWork. That stock, in fact, is moving on good volumes. That is well up, close to around 5.5%. Fairchem Organics, that's a stock that doesn't have very large volumes, only 50,000-60,000 shares traded out there. But that, for some reason, is coming up on the sheet that it's up close to around 13%. So Fairchem Organics is another one that's moved up and about in today's trading session. Westlife, promoter chipping in very, very small quantum out there. That stock, in fact, is up close to around 5% as we speak. So good up move is what we're seeing on that particular name. And pull up a couple of other names as well. RateGain, there was some promoter buying out there, 1.5 lakh shares. I'm not sure whether or not the stock is, gaining out there. In the last 1 month, it's already up close to around 11%. RateGain is another one that could come up for you on the screen. Very, very mildly higher. And a few other names. Keynes Technologies will be having the management very, very shortly who will be joining in. For the time being, the stock is down close to around 3%. And you have Blackbuck. There was that large trade that got out of the way in pre-open. That stock is continuing its upward journey. And Paytm, as you can see to the bottom of your screen, post the clearing out of the large trade, that one as well has seen a good recovery from the lows of the day. Also keep an eye out on Tilaknagar Industries. I can see some large volumes out there. The stock has seen a fairly decent correction in the last few days. That's pulled back a little bit. On the NSE, the volumes are far higher, coming up as one of the top volume movers out there.
Well, there is enough and more action, right? I mean, across the board, which is coming through. Market breadth is negative. About 1450 stocks are lower and about 900 stocks are higher. But as always the case, there is enough and more activity on the upside with volumes, which is, I think, the case today as well. Bajaj Finance is up 5%. So it continues to move from strength to strength. Listing was, I think, on the 7th of November. And just look at where it is now, right? 1260 to 1640 now. Piramal Finance moved up very, very strongly. There is Pine Labs, which is up 2.5%. You got WeWork. I think there is a Jeffries initiation, 5% on WeWork, 640. This 5 paisa, which is up 11%, 350. It's coming up with very large volumes for this point in the day. GMR Power had a very large move yesterday, ended about 7% higher. Stocks at about 131 right now this morning. Aster DM is coming up with 3.33% gain right now. Westlife, Jubilant Food, of course, saw that big move yesterday, 4% on Westlife. That's McDonald's, 565. And I can go down and look at more names, but this is the bulk of where there is volume as we start today's trading session. You've got these silver ETFs, etc., which are starting lower this morning. So keep an eye on some of these names. And more stuff on the downside. There's some stuff which is opening up with volume. Lenskart is down about 2% this morning at about 422. Sirma is down about 1.25. Transformers rectifies, big recovery from the lows. It's down about 2%, and so on and so forth.